time for Easy Money with E, so we'll welcome in Erica Davis, our resident sports betting analyst and longtime NASCAR fan. The Cup Series heads west to Vegas after a photo finish in Atlanta, and I have to imagine the fans that had outright bets on either Kyle Busch, Daniel Suarez, or Ryan Blaney, they were sweating it there at the end.
Kim, no matter who you were on last week, I mean, that race was one for the ages, and I have to shout out my home track for making sure we did not disappoint. And also, I got to shout us out from last week, because if you watched our show last week, you know that I was on Austin Cindric at plus 320 to have a top 5 finish. And I want to just even take it even further back to the beginning of the season, where I was high on Daniel Suarez to have, a great year. New crew chief, new chapter. And look, 2 weeks into the season, he's already got a win with Trackhouse. Now, I do have to caution everyone that because he now has a win on his resume, then his odds to win the NASCAR Cup Series championship have already started to shorten at some books. At some books, he's already gone down to plus 2,800. But guys, at some books, he's still plus 7,500, plus 8,000 to win the NASCAR Cup Series championship. So shop around, and if you like Daniel Suarez right now because he's hot, go ahead and get those longer odds for the bigger payout. And while you're at it, throw a couple of bucks on him at plus 6,500 to win at Vegas this week too.
All right, so let's talk about winners at Vegas. Who do you have your eye on?
Yeah, so outright winners odds is the first market that I want to discuss. You know my motto, not my favorite market, but because this is an intermediate track, this has a little bit more predictability than an Atlanta or a Daytona. So my first one is Joey Logano at plus 1,500, where a $10 bet would win you a total of $160. Logano is a 3-time winner at Vegas, most recently in 2022, and in 2023, he led 9 laps at Vegas. So plus 1,500 on Logano is a really good spot for this weekend. My second one is Brad Keselowski at plus 1,900. He's a 3-time winner at Las Vegas as well, and he finished 4th there in October, and he led 38 laps in that race. So Brad Keselowski plus 1,900, I think that's a good spot to sprinkle a few bucks on. And then finally, we've got Ty Gibbs, a little bit of a longer shot bet at plus 2,800. He's won an Xfinity race there in Vegas in 2022, and he's looking for his first NASCAR Cup Series win there. This could be his weekend. I think plus 2,800 on Ty Gibbs is definitely something that you should consider.
I know each week we like to look at something besides the outright bets, so let's look at head-to-heads.
Yeah, so again, if you don't want to bet on an outright winner, a spot where you can throw a few bucks is the head-to-head matchups. Now, Kim, the matchups that I'm looking at are Reddick versus Bowman, Truex versus Logano, and Suarez versus Briscoe. Each of these matchups not only features a different driver, obviously, but it also features a different manufacturer. However, my favorite of the bunch is the matchup, the head-to-head between Truex and Logano. They both have won at Vegas, and right now Truex is minus 125 and Logano is minus 105, so he's a little bit longer than Truex.
All right, let's talk manufacturer, because for the first 2 weeks, Chevrolet has been dominant. Not only did they win both Cup Series races, they swept all 3 top National Series races in the first 2 weekends. So will Chevrolet continue to show the strength that we've seen so far?
Yeah, well, according to the odds, yeah, Kim, right now Chevy has the shortest odds at plus 120 to be the winning manufacturer. So that means that Chevy's the safest bet. Both races in Vegas last year were Chevy cars. So Chevy at plus 120, the safest bet of this bunch. My least favorite bet for the manufacturers is Toyota at plus 170. But my favorite is Ford at plus 300. That is so enticing to me, Kim, because Ford has a new body this year, as we know, and that new body could give Ford the advantage at Las Vegas. Historically, Ford runs pretty well at Las Vegas, and also Ford leads the way with 14 wins at Las Vegas, and Chevy second with 12 wins. So I'm going to throw a little bit of cash on a Ford plus 300 to be the winning manufacturer in Vegas this weekend.
Okay, you heard it here first. Erica, thank you so much for the insight. We'll see you next week as we get ready for Phoenix.